Our next guest, an expert on all of these issues. In fact, we talked earlier how there's meetings happening today in the White House complex, and that's why Brandon Daniels joins us from, it looks like, either just inside or outside of that complex. You just get out of the meetings, right?
Just inside right now.
Nice. He's the CEO at Exiger, which is an AI supply chain company. So what about this? What was discussed today? What are the concerns?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a number of issues, Connell. So the first thing is we have to create a critical minerals, both mining industry and processing industry in the United States. It's imperative. We have incredible dependence on China for almost every critical mineral. And even the ones that aren't coming directly from China, like germanium and gallium, where they've got this like stronghold on the market, they actually own the global mining operations in the Congo or in Zambia or in some of these other locations. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, there's a real focus on how do we regain control and independence.
We're not going to do it the next few weeks, though, Brandon, right? I mean, I saw some stuff from some of the car companies that it might be a real issue, like literally a month or so from now. Is that true?
I think at the end of the day, you will see some of these products subject to tariffs. I think that's going to potentially be a problem for us. It's going to be subject to export controls. It's going to be subject to some type of restriction, unless we can work through a deal. And I think that there is a plan for a deal. I think that there's a tough negotiation to be had, but I think that there is decidedly a vision for how we're going to keep the industry running. Now, the one thing I do want to say, Connell, is a lot of these permanent magnets, like samarium cobalt magnets or neodymium iron boron magnets, the one that are necessary for these EVs, for those cars, there are alternative supplies.
Right.
They're just not in the same volume. And so I think in the next few weeks, a deal will have to be worked out. Otherwise,
right. But what if it's not?
Going to be
I'm sure they asked you this today, but what if it's not? Like, what's your advice? Like, say you can't get a deal now. What do we do in the interim? Like, what do we actually do? What is the impact on the supply chain? That's your area of expertise. What do we do?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there will be supply chain constraints. That's inevitable. And then the second thing is it's a redrawing of those individual supply chains to alternative supplies. And the fact is, you know, there are manufacturing capabilities, there are alternatives that exist across the globe, but they're just not big enough to support industry in the way that we want to. So there's going to be a lot of price spikes and a lot of pain that could be potentially felt if a deal is not struck for some of these critical minerals.
But you didn't hear anything about, oh, we might take these things off the table, or we might figure out a way around this, and, you know, if we can't get a deal, or...
The thing is, there are ways around it, but those ways, like you said, Connell, they are long-term plans. Like the germanium that we need for all of our semiconductors, all of our fiber optics, there's enough coal ash here in the United States that's produced enough zinc smelters in the United States for us to leach off of the germanium to produce more than we need for all of our semiconductor and fiber optic needs for every year for the foreseeable future. But the pilots to do that are just getting off the ground now. So they are years-long sort of initiatives, right? And so the way around it is to deal with temporary price spikes in these industries around these components. We know that suppliers are reactionary and they can shut down or idle production, but we know that also won't last. You know, when there were the steel tariffs back in 2018, the industry decided to absorb those instead of, you know, stopping production altogether.
Always great, Brandon. Thanks for the hustle. I know you had the important meetings, but to have you kind of on the inside, and I know you're an expert anyway, to hop on your phone was great. We couldn't even get you to camera in time before the show ended. Brandon Daniels.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.